All right, say something, Coach Jimmy.
Hello, hello, hello. This is Jimmy.
Okay, right on, right on.
Hmm. Okay, I see Jimmy on the stream.
All right, guys. So we got gallery view on. I had to figure out a different way to get live, so I apologize. I'm going to change out the link right now, but this is going to be we're making this live stream happen no matter what. This is going to be talking about how to get profitable as a prop trader, how to get consistent. And today we've got Coach Jimmy, Coach Troy in the house. What up, guys? How you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
How you doing, Mr.
I'm doing
Troy?
great.
What's up, brother?
I'm good. I'm good, man. I was just looking at it looks like there's another live event on your YouTube.
Yeah, I got two going on. You got to
You got
pick the
two
right
going on.
one. It's like
And then
choose wisely.
yeah, it's cool. And then we need
I'm
to
gonna shut one down right now.
update the links in the groups, I guess.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, if you want to copy and I don't know if you can do that, but I'm gonna do that right now.
I can't do it
Um,
because I didn't create that.
okay, I got you. Yeah, I'm like doing it right now. So I'm gonna delete the other live event and go from here. So man, we had this is gonna be a really good live stream because the thing is we've all gotten payouts. We've, us three, I think we have enough legs to stand on at this point, Jimmy, after 7 years of figuring this game out of prop game, the prop game. And I think you have done such a good job inside the group leading people and basically showing people the right consistency path to get these prop payouts. And there's so many people out there that want to change their life through prop trading and through cash trading as well. I want to be clear. This isn't just for prop traders. This is going to resonate with cash traders as well. But we're really leaning on this prop in this particular event because there are so many avenues to getting paid and the different ways that you can kind of like skin the cat, as they say, to get paid in the prop game. So I do have some really cool slide decks that Jimmy has helped create and basically came together with this whole thing. And I'm just excited to dive in. So tell us a little bit about your backstory first for anybody that doesn't know who you are.
Okay, perfect. So for those who don't know who I am, my name is Jimmy Kim. I'm a Korean citizen living here in Southern California currently right now. I'll be moving to Bangkok, Thailand here in April 26th. So I'm about a month and 2 days away from my big move. I started trading about 7 years ago. But the mistake that I made was I did not paper trade at all. So I risked all my own capital. I started in the options field. And so I traded options. Then I went over to trading penny stocks, like low cap stocks. But I was only shorting them. So I would borrow the shares and I would short them. And then one day there was a ticker called DWAC. And the DWAC was a Trump-backed social media stock. I started shorting at $15. That thing ran to $120 the same exact day. So I take a very, very big hit. I have actually hit margin calls before. The broker was calling me, "Where's my money?" Things like that. I've experienced it all. So that was probably one of my biggest mistakes. Ever since then, I took about 2 to 3 months off, but I knew that trading was going to be the way for me, and so I just kept sticking through it. And 7 years later, I have officially retired from my commercial real estate business of 10 years, making multiple six figures every year. And now I will be trading full time, and I'm also assisting our group as a coach Jimmy, and and here I am. So I've been trading props for, I would probably say, the past 4 years. I started with trading minis, and so that's kind of one of the things that we're going to talk about, of definitely sizing and what kind of mindset you need to have, because the whole prop game is a very interesting thing because we have to follow every single rule in order for us to do it. But unless it's like a live account, in a live account you can do whatever you want, right? And then you're not, unless the balance actually goes to zero, you're not really blowing an account. But with props, there are drawdowns, there's intraday drawdowns, there's so many different things. So yeah, that's where I'll.
Awesome. Yeah, guys. So we're taking a little bit of time to get into this. I had a little bit of a hiccup with the link, but we're getting into it now. Everyone smash the like button, get the algorithm going. We're about to share some serious alpha with you guys. I would not be doing this live stream if it wasn't for real. And if you guys are really looking to get consistent, I'm telling you, what we're about to share with you is the path. This is the way. So if you're finally, ready to hear that and let it sink in, and you got to be ready for it. You can't be listening to this kind of half-ass. So be prepared, okay? We're about 20, 30 minutes, probably 30 minutes, maybe 45. So that's the length of time that we have going on. So just be ready. I'm going to go ahead and dive in. Now, Coach Troy, real quick, before we move forward, Coach Troy was my, biggest fan and student when we first started. I mean, he jumped on site. He was like, dude, how can I just trade with you every day? Before I even created the group, I was like, put 3K in the market. Are you okay with that? He's like, done. And we traded 3K. Remember, 5 days, you were up 33% or something like that. It was awesome. But nothing happens without action. Coach Troy, can you tell us, like, now 3 years into trading alongside of me, building our community with almost 1,000 members, I know, just from your point of view, you built 7-figure businesses. You're like an inspiration to a lot of people. So tell us real quick, like from your side of things, not trading prop, what you're preparing to take away from everything that we're going through today.
I would say number one, prop accounts are the thing that most people are focusing on right now. And I would say that very few people have done it in a holistic way or in a way that I would approve of. And I think that there's a lot of people out there that are promoting props and they aren't doing it in a holistic way. They're doing it more of a way just to make money for themselves. So what I want everybody to hear out of my voice is that what you're about to hear and experience is like what I would say the real deal when it comes to props, like something that's genuine. And we're not sharing any prop links or anything. We're just genuinely trying to help people who are very interested in props get payouts and what it actually takes to do it, because it's not easy. But it's also not hard if you just follow the success formula, right? Maybe we'll call it that. But I'm really excited for everybody that's listening, because there's just a lot of crap out there that's not real, and it just seems fake and gimmicky, and we're kind of bringing something that's actually real to the table. So I'm really excited about that. Let's go.
You guys are excited? Type the number, type something in chat. Type like hell yeah. Type something, smash the like button. Let's go. I'm going to start sharing the overview of what we have. Here we go, guys. All right. So this is going to be like our 30,000 foot overview. You want to start here, Jimmy?
Sure.
Just take us through these steps, bro.
Of course. So we're going to go over the trader's edge, the mindset, and the sizing blueprint. That's going to be our whole entire call today. It's all about mindset and just sizing, because most traders, they decide that they're going to size up on every trade. They want to pass really quickly. But I wanted to just share statistics really quick. So it says through AI Gemini on Google, it says only 5 through 10% of traders pass evaluations, with some studies showing only 7% of funded accounts receive a payout. Roughly 0.75% of all initial challenge buyers successfully reach their first payout.
Hey, Jimmy, dude, say that again. Do me a favor. Can you turn your mic down a little bit?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, cool. Yeah, turn down. You're hot. But say that again. I don't know if that's really sinking into people already, but like say that one more time.
Got it. So only 5 to 10% of traders pass evaluations.
Dang.
With some studies showing only 7% of funded accounts receive a payout.
Wow.
Okay, and roughly 0.75% of all initial challenge buyers successfully reach their first payout.
Wait, say that one more time. The last line?
The last one, roughly 0.75% of all initial challenge buyers, so your first evaluation account to payout, is 0.75% chance.
Like your first time trying it? Is that what you're saying?
Basically, yeah. If
Okay.
from passing the evaluation to getting to the payout without blowing an account.
First try, not like
First try. Correct.
Wow. Well, I'm part of that statistic, bro.
There we go.
Okay.
So yeah, with these statistics, we understand how difficult prop firms are. So I wanted to at least share these facts that prop trading isn't easy. Okay,
Okay.
you do have to follow certain mindsets and sizing, and that's kind of what we're going to be going over today. Our first one is going to be master the power of one. All we're gonna do is focus on one session, one strategy, and one ticker. So for me personally, it's going to be the New York session, our crazy horse strategy, and then our one ticker is going to be the Nasdaq. Some traders love trading London, some traders love trading Asia, but the baseline of everything is you have to trade just one session. You have to understand how it moves, right? So that if we're either like for example for today, right?
Mm-hmm.
We decided, hey, we're going to stay out of the market.
Mm-hmm.
We will understand that. But if we were to hop onto Asia tonight, we're not going to know what happened yesterday or the week before, so we're not understanding what the actual market's going to do. And so that's why we stick to one everything, one session, one
So
strategy, and
everyone
one
type
ticker.
one in chat. Everyone type like literally ONE one. Everyone do
One.
it. Go. We're not moving forward
And,
till everybody in chat does it.
and I
Mm-hmm.
can
Everyone type
attest to
one
this. I can
because I
attest to
love
this,
that.
guys. I see what's going on in our community, and I talk to all the traders who are trying to pass props and get payouts and stuff like that. And I see them, they're posting their Asia wins, they're posting their London wins and their New York win. I'm like, wait, you're trading all three sessions? Like, no, and then they end up blowing it,
Mm-hmm.
and I have those conversations with them. The first thing I tell them is like, hey, we need to eliminate those other sessions and just focus on one. So I'm glad you brought this up. Very,
Mm-hmm.
very important.
Yes, very, very important. But if you just consistently keep trading Asia or London, that's
Yep.
completely fine. But just pick one session.
Right, one.
Yeah, one
Yeah, we
session.
got some people in here typing one, so they're taking it serious, and we see you guys. Good job. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so
Mhm.
master the power of one.
Correct. And then the second one is going to be the sizing of psychological tool. So if a price movement triggers an emotional response, your position size is just too large for your mindset. So for example, let's say if we were to enter 2 micros, but our stop loss is about 100 points, which is 400 ticks. We are going to be risking $400. But if we go into 200 ticks of drawdown, how does that make you feel? Right? Are you nervous? Do you think that you're going to lose the trade? Do you want to play? Do you want to click the actual exit button? What do you actually want to do? Depending on what the psychological mindset that you are in during the trade, it's not before you execute, it's during the trade. It's holding the trade that makes it very, very difficult. It's not about pressing the buy button or the sell button. Anybody could do that, you know, anybody's nieces, and anybody can do that, right?
Right.
However, it's about actually holding, and are you going to hold it to the full take profit? Are we going to move it? Are we going to move our stop loss to break even quickly? That's all a trader's decision, right? So that's the most important part of it, is really sizing. If 1 micro makes you nervous, unfortunately there's not a smaller size than 1 micro. But if you are in 5 micros, I want to alliterate one more time that sizing is very, very important. If that makes you nervous, you're sized incorrectly.
And we're going to take a deeper dive on all of this stuff, guys. This is like the 30,000 foot overview. So just want to let everybody know. Okay.
Mhm.
So sizing as a psychological tool. Yep.
Correct. Yep. And then our third one is going to be choose your prop firm path. So we have two different paths that we recommend. Is the first one is going to be the speed of the $50,000 accounts. With the $50,000 accounts, what we want to do is we want to actually scale with multiple accounts, and we want to copy trade them. That's the only way that it'll actually make sense. Because if you were to only have one $50,000 account, the payout amount is really $1,000. If you look at it in a return aspect, like an ROI aspect, it still does make sense. You're spending $100, and if you do reach to the payout on the first time, you're making a 10x of what your investment is, right? At $1,000 or even $1,500. But even if it takes you 2 or 3 times, you're still making about what, 6 to 7x of what your return of investment is. But however, since the drawdown on the $50,000 accounts are a lot lower than the bigger accounts, you are going to go through a lot of blown accounts, for example. So if you're going to go through 5 accounts and it's going to cost you $500, I mean, on the vice versa, there's $150,000 accounts that cost, let's say, $200, right? If it costs $200, but it's going to last you a longer time, but the payout amounts are also bigger.
We're gonna get into that a little bit more
Mhm.
as well, but yeah, so choosing your account, you got the 50K, and then what? You got the 150K is obviously
150K,
the other option.
correct. And I've tested both. When
Yep.
I first joined the group, all I had was only $150,000 accounts.
Hmm.
Got them to payouts, and then I had a pretty rough December, which I didn't trade very much days, but they were pretty much a lot of reds in
Hmm.
December, and so I got rid of the 150, or I blew the $150,000 accounts, and now I'm testing all the 50K accounts. But now I'm looking for quantity. So currently I have 15, but I'm looking to add about 30 to 40 more.
And we're
And
gonna
so,
talk about how you do that. Don't give that
mhm,
away yet. Okay.
yes,
Okay, cool. So let's get back to the slide real quick. And the last thing that we're gonna be covering.
it's going to be the pre-market mental checklist. We're gonna be identifying setup grades A, B,
The
and
big
C.
one, baby.
The biggest one, A, B, and C, and how we size based off of the A, B, C. Are we gonna ladder order? There's so many different things that we're gonna get into here. And then we're gonna determine size that allows you to remain calm, which also kind of comes back to the psychological tool as well. If the sizing is too big, you're gonna be nervous. It's just not gonna work.
Yeah, one of the things I want to mention to everybody is, I've spoken to so many traders. I know Troy has too. I can tell you right now, as soon as the person I'm speaking with decides to size down, that is the moment they become more consistent. They don't necessarily get the big rush that they used to have, you know what I mean? But they get more consistent, and then they're happier traders. And then they like just getting in this mindset that you don't have to have big wins, man. You just need to have wins. It doesn't have to be big ones. You just need to end green. That should be the goal, just to end green, you know? Troy, you got anything on this? Because I know you speak to like 50 traders every day at least. You're speaking to like 50
Yeah.
people a day, bro.
Yeah, you nailed it. And a lot of it comes down to sizing. You know, that if you can just reduce your risk, um, you're that solves a lot of things at once. So, but that's
Yeah.
that's the thing though, is most people just don't want to do that. They just want to like go hard and like make $1 million in a day. But yeah.
So I was actually talking to one of our group members yesterday, and I gave him the reference of going to a casino and playing blackjack. If you're going to play blackjack, you have kind of what, like 47 to 53 or something that the casino has an edge of. And I said, if you're placing $200 and that makes you nervous, then you're already sized incorrectly, even in gambling.
Oh, yeah.
So why
Oh
would
yeah,
you do that in trading?
Right.
Right?
exactly.
Just because you don't see the actual stop loss and what the actual dollar amount is, or you haven't exchanged your dollars for that, it's identically the same. But if I'm playing $5, am I gonna kill myself? Probably not.
Exactly.
Or
That's so
pennies.
solid. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
or
like I like
pennies.
yeah, I like the pennies.
Yeah, and then there's also like the $1 blackjack tables in Vegas too, and
Yeah,
$1 is not gonna kill anybody, right? So
yeah,
it's kind of a similar idea.
Yeah,
yeah.
smash the like button if you guys like that analogy, because I know so many people do. That's like a huge alpha. That's a tip right there. My
Mhm.
mentor, I'll give you another one. My mentor told me never risk more in one trade that you can't make back in your next. What a great line. Like,
Mhm.
I'm gonna look at my risk now and ask myself, can I make this back in my next trade? Come on, guys, you gotta love
Mhm.
that. All right, so we're gonna dive into the slide decks that we have for you guys and just go through this a little more vigorously now. So back to you, Coach Jimmy.
Okay, so we're going to talk about again mindset and sizing. This is going to be the blueprint for prop firm survival and consistent profitability. Meaning we're going to keep getting payouts from the prop firms, although it may take some time for it. But we're gonna do it the proper way. So the market tuition has already been paid. So the sorry, let's see here. Phase one turbulence. Oh yeah. So this is kind of, I guess, my history here. So
Yeah, just look at the heart. This is what most of your guys' heart rate looks like in a trade right now. So think of it as your heartbeat, but it's actually the journey of inconsistent trading right here in the beginning years, the turbulence. Let's get through it.
yeah. Yeah, so the turbulence was a kind of my 7 years of trial and error, and spending a lot of money. I've actually gone through a lot of mentorships before finding Coach Mike on YouTube, and that's how I joined the group last year, and I became a consistently profitable trader inside this group.
By the way,
And
for anyone who doesn't know this, Tradeify had a competition. I'm just going to say it, bro. I don't care.
okay,
Tradeify had a competition last year. There were 20,000 plus people. It was like 20 or
correct.
30, 20,000. Guess what place Coach Jimmy ended up in? Actually, I forget the exact. I don't want to say the wrong thing. It was in the 60s, right? It was like
It was like 57 or something. Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Give it up for Coach Jimmy. Give me a clap. Clap for Coach Jimmy in the chat. Let's go, man. Like that is a huge accomplishment. And I remember every day I would kind of speak on it.
Of course.
And just that mental aspect of sticking to the rules, remaining disciplined, but having to go for it because you're in a challenge. I mean,
Yep.
so just awesome work, man. Awesome job. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
anyways, for those of you that don't know, I think he's come a long way from the heartbeat that we're going to see on the screen again. We'll put that back up here right now.
Yes, and just to add to that a little bit, so my best friend who lives with me at my house, he placed 10th, and so he got an $8,000 payout from that tournament.
Wait, whoa, he placed what?
He placed 10th place.
Wow.
Yeah, he ended up
Nice.
getting 10th.
That's wild. Bro.
While I got knocked out when I'm technically his mentor, so it was
That is
just
wild. Hey,
it's kind
there
of
you
funny.
go. That's awesome, man.
So I guess I taught him correctly, right?
That's
Hell
right, you
yeah,
did.
dude. 10th place, dude. 10th place out of 20,000 people. Are you kidding me? Yeah, that's freaking wild.
He had
so
to give you half of that, right?
Yeah, you got
he,
a cut,
least-
right?
he bought me a nice dinner. It cost about $300-400.
Yes, let's go.
That's
Nice.
awesome. Can you guys hear us okay? You good on the volume? Should be good. All right. Let me know. All right, so back to the slide.
So back to the side. So I went through 7 years of trial and error. I was system hopping. I went through a lot of mentorships. I probably spent about $50,000 or more just on mentorships alone. Those one-on-one mentorships that last 3 months, 6 months, whatever it is. And then from there, it just wasn't working. So I would hop to another strategy. Maybe this one is better. Maybe this one is a little bit better. And then until I came across Coach Mike and our Crazy Horse system here, and I haven't turned back. Of course, we had added a couple of extra confluences with like my PO3 and things like that, but everything, the baseline is all Crazy Horse. All the bands stay on my charts, all my sizing especially is one of the biggest things, and we call that the dynamic money management, and that's going to be the major key here today.
And that was during the correction phase. So you're going through, you're spending all this money. Then you joined us. You learned dynamic money management, which was really that was the thing that opened your mind up, I know.
Yes.
And obviously using the range as our framework and our guide. And the bands that are there are just MAs more than anything. They're not anything crazy special, but it allows you to see on like obviously momentum, which is important, right? Structure being your kind of foundation, momentum being kind of like a concept more than anything. It's not so, it's more like, I would say, how do I say this? Like, it's not so scientific. Yeah.
Yep.
And so the bands are pointed up. Generally speaking, the market is going up, but market pulls back. You've studied, smart money concepts and ICT and some other in-depth concepts that basically teach you about inefficiencies in the market, which do matter. And so price is pulling back to a band, and then there's a fair value gap. You're looking at that and you're saying, look, this is where I know volume is going to hit the market. I don't need a volume profile. I don't need to see the order book. I don't need any of that. This is just an equilibrium point, and the bands show it. So you started using that. That got you even more consistent to where you're now consistently profitable. And then what's this phase 3, man?
The phase 3 is it's what I'm living in right now. I just retired from my 10-year career as a commercial real estate broker, and I'll be relocating to Bangkok, Thailand in about 32 days. And so I'm selling my house and getting rid of my car. There's so many different things going on. but I'll be trading full time and protecting capital every single day. And so I'm very excited for this new journey. But I'm very thankful for our group and also Coach Troy, Coach
That's
Mike.
awesome. If anyone
Just
wants to trade full time, type me in chat. Just get a feel for the room. How many like people in here want to actually do this full time? Just type me in the group. I just want to see just a show of hands real quick. And we're going to keep it moving here. We're going to go to the next slide here.
Okay. And then we're going to be redefining the objective. And basically, instead of passing, we're looking for survival, right? We're going to be surviving in these prop firms. It's either we're surviving or we're going to go for the payouts, right? It's either speed or survival. Those are the only two really directions that we have in the prop firm because of all of the rules. So the amateur's directive is really to pass the prop firm's evaluation as fast as humanly possible. But then the professional's directive is survive long enough to become consistent, protect the account, and reach payouts. There are obviously two different types of ways you can go about it. It's more of how much capital do you actually have to invest. I wouldn't say spend. I would like to say invest into a prop firm account and then to reach that payout, right? I consider it as a business expense. If there's a cost of doing business every types of business, right? So even in my commercial real estate business, my monthly cost with the 1 year contracts and all the software that I was using is about $4,000 a month. And that's because I was able to make a return of investment of the softwares. But getting rid of all of that made my mind so much more comfortable now that I'm moving to Bangkok and retire from that business. But again, we're going back to it being a business expense, right? You're spending $100 to possibly make $1,000 to $1,500. As simple as it gets. But now if we're scaling to 10 accounts, we're talking about 15 that we're spending $1,000 to make 10,000 to $15,000. I don't think there's any other better business out there that can give you a 10x return besides, I guess, meme coins or something like that. But that's not really a business. That's more of a, hey, let's get lucky.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like I owned a paint company, and if I was painting a kitchen or something, it would cost me, $2,000 or $3,000 in materials
Correct.
and labor to get that kitchen painted, right? But I actually would make, $10,000 or $15,000 total,
Correct.
right? So it's just cost of doing business, and that makes a lot of sense. But most people don't think of it that way.
Correct.
How do most people think of it?
They think that they're just spending the money to reach the payout, but once they blow it, then they start dwelling on it.
Yeah,
That's the problem. They're not really looking at it as an investment. They just purchase it like, oh, I could make this much, or I can take out this much payout. However, once they blow the account, they're just like, oh, I just went through. Let's say if they blew 10 accounts all at once because copy traded, they just blew $1,000.
right. I feel like I don't know a good analogy for it, but the vibe that I get from people, like the emotional feeling that I get, is people treat a $50 prop account like it's the last piece of pie at
Yeah,
Thanksgiving dinner or something. Like they savor it, and it's like their whole life is focused just on this one prop, and if they lose it, it's like their world's over.
right,
Instead, it should just be like, okay, I lost it. I had $1,000 I was going to spend. That's 50 of the thousand. I'm going to reload another 50 and just keep going.
correct.
Okay, cool.
So the best way I would like to give any new traders in the prop industry is set aside an X amount of budget and see if you can pass an account and get to a payout within that small budget.
Yeah.
Don't try to go crazy and go 50 accounts like myself, just because most traders are probably not ready yet. Because
Yeah.
clearly through the statistics, roughly 0.75% go through initial challenge to get reached to their first payout. So if you do reach it, a round of applause.
Right.
However, that's still probably luck
Hmm.
if you did it in your first try.
Got it.
Yeah. Your account survives because of discipline, not because of one big trade. Slow growth is still growth, and that's what people need to keep in mind.
Hmm.
If you're really trying to become, especially the people that type me in chat, I respect all of you for wanting to do this full time, but I will tell you, I don't really know anybody that got to full-time trading without passive income or some other form of income like a job, because to quit a job for this, that takes balls, man. That takes some and skill and some serious discipline. When it weighs on your shoulders every day, whether or not you're going to be able to pay your mortgage or whatever you have, overhead monthly, it's a big commitment. Even Coach Jimmy had savings, So when he took the leap of faith, this right here, guys, I cannot stress this enough. Your account survives because of discipline, not because of one big trade. I mean, I'm not going to pull it up right now, but you guys see my other videos. I am all about consistent. I don't care whether I made $50 today. I really don't, as long as it's green. And so there's just, if you lean on that concept, I think you're going to have a much better shot at moving forward and getting payouts. And I blew the first 5 with Apex. I blew 5 tries with Apex because of this whole concept of just needing to get to the payout quickly, Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
And then I finally said, you know what, dude, I'm just going to go super light size like what I preach. I wasn't doing what I preached. I did that. And now look, I mean, I got another 20K I can take out. I already took out 10K. I got 20 accounts just with Apex alone. Right. So talk to us about this this next slide here.
Yes. So this is where the fatal trap is. If I was a prop firm owner, this is the exact cycle that I would want every trader to go through, because I want you to blow accounts so it'll feed my business money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the first step is usually focus distortion, right? And that the attention shifts away from executing the plan when you start staring at your P&L. So if your P&L starts showing $500, $1,000, and it's like, oh, you get excited, but when that win turns into a loss, then the emotional wreck comes in, psychological, right? I should have took profit. I should have shaved off something. I should have moved my stop loss to break even. I shouldn't even have taken that trade. There's so many different questions that you keep questioning yourself, and then from there, you go through a psychological breakdown. I call it a mental breakdown, right? After you shut off all the charts, maybe laying down in bed, you're like, what did I do wrong? What am I doing, right?
Yeah.
And then you start getting in your head and saying, hey, am I even set up for this? Am I good enough for this? Am I smart enough for this? So many different cycles you go through, right? And then right after that, if let's say, for example, if you trade multiple sessions, let's say you lose in New York after going through this first 2 nodes that we have here, right? Then you're going to hop onto Asia session, and which goes to the compromised execution. And you're just going to be forcing low quality setups, trying to scalp your way back to green, or you're going to do whatever it takes. And then if you don't succeed in Asia, then you're going to go to London again, right? There's pros and cons of having a 23-hour session every single day. However, our main goal as a trader is not to spend our time in front of the screen all day long. Is to do 1 or 2 hours, call it, take your profits, and get away from your computer or get away from the charts.
Yep.
If you have another job or something, you need the computer.
Something else too that I know people who are listening to this do, because remember, what was the number one thing we had to focus on, right?
One,
right? I know for a fact that during New York, I traded the orb strategy. During Asia, I was looking at like trend line or something. Oh, because you were a trend line trader before, so you completely ignored your original strategy, and then you saw something else, so you started trading another strategy, and then London you trade another strategy, and it just makes a lot of sense. Hey, you got to go to just one, get rid of everything else, close the screen down, walk away, go do something else, and it takes discipline to do that.
It does.
It's hard
yeah,
to take a loss. Humans don't like the feeling, that pain of a loss.
Yep.
Yeah, the money is merely a byproduct of good execution. Chase the byproduct and the system fails. Damn. That is so solid, bro. One of my favorite quotes.
And that's a system alert. It's a huge alert there.
Yeah, system alert. Yeah, for real, man. The money is a byproduct. Stop chasing the money. Let's go, man. That's solid.
Yeah, I just wanted to. Can we go back to the previous slide really quick?
Mhm.
And then note 4 here is just really revenge trading, right? If let's say if you're or if you, let's say if you lose your first trade, you're gonna be sizing up, trying to get that loss back, and then from there you have a blown account. So it's just I call this a nice vicious cycle you go through, right? But if you can get away from this, then that's how we can defeat the prop firms and
Let me
rinse
ask
them.
you this, since we're here. Let's say I lost. I know what I do, but that's why I love having you here too, because when it comes to prop trading, you have more experience than even I have. So I want to ask you, let's say you did lose and you're second guessing yourself, and you're like, freaking A, I lost whatever it is on the day, a big amount, whatever that
Mhm.
big amount is to you, but it didn't blow the account yet, but you're thinking about like getting in again. It's just that itch. So you close your computer, right? You come back tomorrow, and then what do you do? Like, what do you do the next day? Are you just like sizing down or what?
It all kind of depends on the orb range for me. It depends on what our take profit distance is also as well. And am I gonna go for our 1-to-1, or am I kind of squeezing out to like a session liquidity or like a 4-hour high or 1-hour high, right? Are we
Okay.
looking for those type of things? And then depending on what my target is, I have to decide, am I just gonna if I am I just gonna hit the 1-to-1 and get out of the market today, or am I gonna size lower and hold it for a longer time, and I'm okay with a break even day?
Mm,
And that's kind of what I did today, right? So today I was up about 250 ticks, and then I just placed my stop loss, but I did have a specific target, and I ended up getting stopped out at break even, making $17.10 per account.
you're
So,
green.
yeah, I'm still green, right? But I mean, it's just I was still able to not take another trade and still shut off the computer.
And we called it in the live session. We said this is no direction. There won't
Mhm.
be a direction. This is going to be choppy. And you look at the day, and it's exactly what we called in the live session. So you shouldn't feel bad about 17. Look at this. This is a mess of a day. I mean, we haven't gone anywhere.
Yep.
Exactly what we called. So awesome, bro. I think that's
Mhm.
great. Okay, so you're basically looking at your target. You're deciding whether or not you want a 1-to-1 risk to reward, or whether
Mhm.
you want to reach for that ultimate target. And that's going to really highly depend on the environment we're in. And, you know, do we have a clear sentiment of the market? And what's the range? I mean, if the range is huge, even a one micro could get you into trouble, right? So you got to really decide, okay, well, I can't have that much. I'm not going to be ladder ordering on a day with 200-point range. That ain't
Right.
happening. I'm probably not going to add to my position. Okay.
Hmm.
So it's
Or
really
maybe
just
you skip a trade.
dynamic.
Or
Yeah, or
yeah,
you
or
skip
I
the
skip.
trade. Yeah.
Hmm.
So it's
But
dynamic, Jimmy. Is that right?
correct, it is dynamic. So like
Okay.
it's a perfect example was yesterday. We had a close to 1,000 point candle up, and then after that, it's just been super volatile. And our whole orb range was, I believe, like like 800 ticks.
That was crazy.
Yeah, it was something crazy. So even if I took one micro, I would have lost $400 if I was to get stopped out, playing the whole entire orb range.
Hmm,
Yeah.
So those are the type of things that I have to consider, right? I'm not gonna I'm gonna look at that first, and then base my sizing off of that.
got it.
And then yeah, and then again we're going back to our one session, one strategy, one ticker, and that is the antidote to over trading. That's just the rule of one.
Everyone
Okay.
type one in chat. One more time. Do it again, man. Trust me. Just do it. Just do it as practice. You got somebody here who's taken over 50K in payouts. He's literally taken his payouts from prop and now trading a live account as well. We did get a question in chat. I do want to
Sure.
ask you real quick, even though we'll do questions at the end, but along the way we can answer these. Are you just trading prop, or are you converting your money to a live account? And that goes with what we're talking about right here. You made over 50 grand, well over 50 grand prop trading. What are you doing now? You're still trading prop. Obviously, you said earlier you're working your way to 30 accounts, but what are you doing as far as live account? Do you have a live account going along with that? Maybe we can answer that quickly as everyone's typing one still. Let's
Yep.
go. We've got 56 people in here. There should be 56 ones. Go ahead and expand on that, Jimmy.
Yes. So I went ahead and kind of saved some of my prop firm payouts out, and now I'm going to be funding a $50,000 live account. I just put in my application for a broker, and I'll be funding it in the first week of April. And so with that being said, I will have my leader as my live account, and then it will be copying all of my prop firms behind it.
Sick. Okay,
Nice.
that's sick. So that answers that question, and so he's doing both. All right, so let's move on to the next here, since everyone understands the one. All right, let's keep it moving.
Yeah, and so sizing is going to be your psychological anchor. And why we say that is, if you enter your trade and you instantly feel nervous because the candle went against you, and you're down 100 ticks, 200 ticks, then you're already sized incorrectly, right? So even this morning, to give an example, I was only in 1 micro. So I already knew what my risk was. Even if I lose, I knew how much exactly I was going to lose. And so after I entered my position, I put on some music and I just started dancing and just do whatever I need to do, right? And I go.
Where's that? Hey, where's that Instagram video, homie?
It's coming soon. It's coming soon.
Nice.
But yeah, that way I'm even able to go and use the restroom, go wash my hands, go get some water, do whatever I need to do, because that's how comfortable I am with my sizing, and how comfortable I am to hit my take profit. But once I'm even in break even.
Look at this. The core misconception here, Jimmy. I mean, you say it. The myth is that position sizing is a mathematical formula. And that's what we want to believe. And dude, when you're back testing, yes, it is. Okay. But the reality is sizing is the ultimate tool for emotional control, bro. I mean, that is the secret sauce right there. It's not entry models. I would argue it's not even really strategy. I mean, it is strategy. You got to have a strategy, but if you size correctly, you have a much better chance at becoming consistent. I know. The biological test, every single candle tick makes your heart rate go up, makes you sweaty palms, right? You shift your emotion, you size your size too big, and then what happens? You get out because it's too big, and what does price do, Jimmy? It goes right back in the direction of your trade, right? And then you're like, why did I stay? And now I'm pissed, and now I don't know what I'm doing.
Yep. And then
so proper sizing.
Yeah, proper sizing allows you to think clearly and objectively, and then you follow the pre-market plan, accept stop outs without panic, and then you avoid desperate, impulsive decisions during a drawdown. Coach Mike, can I ask you a question? So on your TradeZella journal, right? What does it show as your win rate?
Damn, you put me on blast just like that? What the hell?
It's
That's messed up.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I do not know, bro. Let me pull it up. I know you have a point here, so I want to know what it is, but I don't want to give you a wrong answer. I can't remember what it was. 64.35.
Okay, 64. Okay, so at 64%, everyone can still be profitable at even just a 1-to-1.
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
And a lot of traders, they think that you have to have 80%, 90% win rate in order for you to be a profitable trader, but that's not correct, right? As long as you're for a 1-to-1, as long as you're above 50%, you're always going to be profitable, even for the month. And there's going to be days where even with 1 micro, you can still make $600 depending on how the market volatility is. Right. And if we are to ladder in, now I'm in 2 micros for 600 ticks. Now I'm $600 up. And that's big across 15, 20 accounts. That's going to be huge.
Yeah, huge. That's a good way to think about it. And, in our training, that's why we have different models. And I like everyone to start with the 1-to-1 because of what you just said. It's like, hey, man, you should have an edge. After I know it seems like a lot to a lot of people, but it's really not. If you really want to do this full time, like your back test, I know it seems crazy, but it's like 500 trades, man. Like that's pretty, for me, I go hard. Like 500 trades is normal. That's like, you should be doing that. You should at least have one, just like one time in your life where you did 500 effing trades. Like, hell yeah, dude. Like, let's see what happens after that. Cause I see a lot of people, especially online, and they're posting like this amazing back test of 90% and it's like 15 trades. I'm like, homie, that is such a small sample size that you're making yourself look dumb.
Right.
So yeah, do a big sample size for yourself, man. Don't
Mhm.
don't don't do it for anybody but yourself. But
Right.
absolutely 1 to 1, you should be profitable. Coach Troy, you look like you're thinking.
Oh yeah, I mean, if anybody's out there looking at this or listening to this, you have to be, I mean, and you have any business sense, or if you are an entrepreneur or anything like that, you can clearly see that Coach Jimmy is treating this as a business, right?
Yeah.
This isn't a I'm trying to pay off some bills kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm just trying to make some money this week kind of vibe. Like it's just not going to work. If your mindset is that way, you just need to shut off this YouTube stream right
Yeah,
now,
or just have
right?
fun on the side trading, but like we're talking about somebody who's actually doing it for a living. There's a big
Yes.
difference
Mhm.
for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. And then to kind of add to that is that if you keep thinking about the money and saying that I need to pay this bill, then it's only going to get worse because psychologically you're not there and then you're going to
Mm.
end up oversizing no matter what. So I want every trader that is watching this to be a mechanical robot, okay? Because our setup happens every single day at the exact same time and one session, one strategy, one
Damn.
ticker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how can you not be a robot? It's the same exact setup every single day,
Yeah.
right? So I just want to iterate that fact. We have a mechanical model that all we need to do is just wake up and be in front of the charts by that time, and you just have to click the button. And then if it gets to your take profit, you just exit your position, or if it goes to your stop loss, and depending if you're laterally ordering or if you're just cutting your position short, that's all you're doing. So in between, once you
Yeah.
click that button, you should be excited, turn on some music, jump around, do whatever you need to, go use the restroom, go make some coffee. You could do whatever you want because it's all mechanical.
Yes. That's awesome. I mean, and like an analogy I'm just thinking right now was like, you know, maybe you have to mow your yard today,
Mhm.
right? You have to get your lawnmower out, start it up, and you start, pushing your lawnmower around or you're riding it around. You're focused on getting the job done, right? You're focused on just going up and down, making stripes, making your yard look pretty, and just finishing the job, right? You're not letting anything like get in the way, and then you just like only mow a couple strips, and then you ran into a stick, and then you just, oh, I gotta go, like you quit, or
Right.
like you know what I mean? Like you're focused on the job and you complete it,
Mhm.
regardless of what gets in the way,
Correct.
right? I mean, that's probably a horrible analogy, but I'm
No,
looking at
I
my
think it's
yard and
great.
I
I
got to
think there's a
mow
lot of
it.
people who mow their own yard, Troy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're not the only one.
yeah. But you're thinking about it in this way. It's like a systematical way. Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's like a business or like a
Yep.
job that has to get completed.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the beautiful thing about our model is the fact that it happens in the same time every
Yeah.
single day, right?
Yeah.
But other traders, like let's say even ICT traders, they're looking for a setup the entire time. They're looking for a liquidity sweep,
Yeah,
fair
dude.
value gap tap. There's
Yeah.
so many different factors. SMT, literally everything
Yeah.
needs to line up for an A plus setup, right?
That's right.
And they're just waiting and waiting and waiting, which is why that's where their patience comes in. But yes, we do have to be patient, but we do have a little bit of an edge over ICT traders because ours is mechanical and it's all time based.
Yeah,
Yep.
you have to have a consistent, what they call a consistent data point, and then you have what they call a static data point, and then you have, just like in business, Jimmy, how much is your rent at your location? That's static, right? So you have
Correct.
static costs, right?
Hmm.
And then you have fluctuating costs. So
Correct.
without a static, there is zero chance of doing any type of actual, mechanical style back test like we've done over
Hmm.
the last 5 years to actually see if your strategy has an edge. There's
Right.
zero chance, bro.
Right.
So, now whether it does, I'm not saying it does or doesn't, but you can't do it from a statistical standpoint. You can't do that. So,
Right.
but we have. But I want to, yeah, I want to, that's a good point. I want to go ahead and move here to this next one because
Okay.
this one I'm excited about. Baseline prop firm parameters.
Hmm.
Let's lead into this. This is good stuff.
Yes. So this is the baseline prop firm parameters that I tend to use. So on any $50,000 account, the approximate drawdown is 2,000. Some prop firms like Tradeify does have 2,500. But what I like to do is the general rule of thumb is you divide that by 10 of your drawdown, not the account size. Because if it's $50,000 and you divide that by 10, that's risking $5,000. It's just, it
Yeah.
doesn't make
Yeah.
sense. Whatever your drawdown is, you divide by 10, and that's a very elementary school math, so you should be able to do it instantly. Okay, at $2,000, 10% of that is $200 per trade. Okay, and if you do ladder order, that does count as a second trade. It's not, you're not, of course you are averaging in, but it counts as your second trade. And that's the biggest difference with prop firm trading and live account, is that it actually counts as a second trade. Okay, and so if you are taking a ladder order and you're in one micro and you're risking $200 and you add another micro, that's the second trade that you're risking $200. So you're risking $400
Right.
for the day. Okay, and then but then now statistically, let's talk about this, right? Statistically, has anybody recently lost 10 trades in a row, including laddering?
You mean with our system or
With
like?
like, just in our in our live group in our system, I don't think
No,
anybody has lost
no,
10 trades in a row.
no, never.
Never.
Meaning your account still should be alive, right?
Exactly. Yes.
It should still be alive. But
That makes sense.
if I
Right.
see in our group saying that they have a blown account, what does it come down to?
Oh, oversizing.
Sizing,
Yeah.
Wow.
right?
And maybe they just took one or two trades that were
Exactly.
oversized,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and
Wow,
not
that's a
not
great
10.
point.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just oversized. That's literally all it is.
Hmm.
For me, I do it a little bit more a little bit more aggressively, meaning that I risk $250 per trade. So it comes to about 6 or 7 trades depending on what the slippage is on my stop loss and take profits are. I do about 250 for the 50K account just so I could get to my payouts. But then now if we're to hop onto the $150,000 account, you're risking $450. Now your P&Ls are looking higher and higher, like dollar wise. However,
Hmm.
now your profit targets are at $9,000.
Mhm.
So because on a $50,000 account, your drawdown is 2,000, right? But your profit target is 3,000.
Hmm.
So it's actually not 2 times the amount. But on a
Right.
$150,000 account, you have your drawdown is 4,500, but your profit target is 9,000. So
Mhm.
technically, you have to make more in order for you to do that. So that's why I swapped over to a $50,000 account, but with multiple accounts instead of having a 150,000 account, like just only 5 of them or 3 of them. I
Mhm.
decided, hey, I'm gonna go with 10 or 15 $50,000 account, and then that'll make it actually better because I'll reach the payouts latest by every 2 weeks.
Yeah, that makes
Some.
sense.
Hmm.
And Jay says, not according to my data. We're talking about our data, brother. So the data that we actually have inside of our community. So yeah, it's whatever you're doing, and this is the thing. We talked about it earlier. I don't know if you were here, but sticking with one strategy, one session, one instrument. And with that, from what I'm taking away, Jimmy, I'm just going to say what I think, one size.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't really look like are you sizing up or down basing on the grade, or are you just kind of generally speaking sticking to one size for the most part?
Mostly I am sticking to one size. It also kind of depends on if I'm taking the 1-to-1. I may go to a 2 micro. Maybe my maximum size is 3 micros on $50,000 accounts. And anybody who's trading a $50,000 account here, if you're trading more than 3 micros, no matter what the market condition is, you're oversized, no matter what.
Mm,
Because even with 1 to 2 micros, you can still reach the payout cap within 2 weeks, and that's only 10 trading days.
mm,
Yeah, you can reach that. 2 micros, 300 ticks, $300.
I reached it in 11.
See, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just saying that
No,
it's very.
that's sticking to that. I mean, the most. I mean, I did ladder order one day, and I
Mhm.
was in 6 micros, but there was a tighter range, so I wasn't in too much drawdown. Like I want to say like 300 or 400. My biggest drawdown in those 11 days was $600, which is a little much. That's just a little much. So I was kind of risking it for the biscuit, I guess, in terms of what we're risking on this account. I didn't stick to that rule.
Yeah.
But I was more confident in the direction, structure, momentum, things of that nature. So but looking back now, I actually, now that I'm where I'm at in these 20 Apex accounts, maybe I can just show real quick, because it's like I am trading a lot. Like I'll show just today, just as an example, I am trading with a more disciplined approach when it comes to size, because I'm looking at this like, okay, this could actually be pretty big money if I treat this right. You know what I mean? So here's my account, and today I'm only up 113 bucks, and I'm fine with that. And I got 20 accounts, well over the profit target. I can take more than $1,000 per account right now as it stands. Some of them, even more than that. But the point is, Jimmy, I'm kind of sticking to that 1 or 2 micro mindset, no matter what the setup is, just to keep the account really nice and safe, and just green, everyday green, 50 bucks, 100. I don't care what it is as long as it's green.
Right. Right. And then also, just to go back, like when you had the 6 micros, right? It was technically 2 trades.
It was
1
2
and
trades.
2. It was 2
Yes.
trades because you laddered in.
That's
so
right.
Maximum size, you still only did 3.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right.
So you only did 3 and 3.
Right.
So again, to iterate the fact, 3 micros on a $50,000 account should be your absolute max.
Dang. Smash the like button for that, dude. That's sick. I love that. Let's roll with that. Okay, awesome. Let's keep it moving here. So did we cover everything here?
Yes, we did just the orb context example. But if the orb range is 100 points wide, 400 ticks, you take 2 micro contracts. Your risk is approximately $400 if price runs full range against you. Okay, so that's just the general rule of thumb of how to kind of understand where your stop loss goes and what your risk is for the day, if you're going to play the full range. But if you're playing your one-on-one or your one-to-one, then that's really all. It's never going to be the full entire orb range.
Can I just show an example of what he's
Sure.
talking about for those of you that don't know what we're talking about? The opening range. Okay, this is this line here. This is the Orb Signal Pros, our custom indicator. The high of the orb range, 15 minutes, is what we go off of, because that's what the data says to go off of. That's what we've back tested, more than 5,500 trades. So we know statistically this 15-minute range is what we should use. There's a high, there's a low. And the entire range itself, this is remember I said you have to have a static, right? And something that fluctuates as well, just like a business. Well, what fluctuates is this orb range. So you can say it's 176 points. What Jimmy is saying is, and you can see we have the automatic TP and stop loss levels like built into the indicator. This is the most probable distance that price is likely to travel once you get a breakout or a buy or sell signal. In this case, buys, because we broke to the upside and price is pulling back below this center line. That's an equilibrium band. So we're using equilibriums, and we're looking at momentum, velocity, which is really volume, and then range. And this range here, 176 points, is quite a big range. So if you were to trade the entire range with 1 micro, you're looking at $2 a point, right? So you're looking at 176 times 2, right? So you're looking at more like a $350 just to trade. So if I went long here, is what Jimmy is saying. If I went long and I said, you know what, I'm going to play the entire range. Okay, and where does that bring my take profit? Well, it brings it up here at London high, maybe a little bit higher to get a 1-to-1. You're going to have to be okay with that. Whether or not you close it before your TP is met or not is up to you, but you're going to have to be okay with this. And he can go and dance or do whatever he does because he's already done the math and he knows he's risking $350 for this trade maximum with 1 micro. Okay, and it's going to either go up and hit his TP, or he's going to end up here, or he's just going to lose it. And he's okay with that because he's done the math. A lot of people don't do that math. They just click 2 micros, 5 micros, and they get into a trade. And that's what Jimmy is saying. The big shift in his trading is he's focused on that. And that's what has really led him to this dynamic money management, getting profitable using dynamic money management.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But if it goes and hits your TP, you're just making $350. Doesn't sound very fun.
Right, but $350,
Yeah.
it can't really pay for your rent or anything. But
Yeah, it's just across 20 accounts, 35
Oh,
accounts,
yeah.
200.
Really?
Yeah,
20?
whatever.
Oh, 20 account. Oh, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But you don't get, and like Jimmy's saying, you can stack these slowly. So that makes a lot of sense to do that. The real question is, can you survive that $400 loss? Can you survive that loss? If your account gets hit with that, is that going to wreck your account? If so, don't trade it.
Mm-hmm.
Come up with a different plan.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, and
Keep it
then
moving.
we're gonna go over our ABC scale of our actual grading system. Okay, so our top tier is gonna be the A setup. We do actually in our indicator we do have like A90, A100, things like that. But today specifically we're only gonna go over A, B, and C. Top tier A setup, high conviction, full standard size. When I say full standard size, it depends on what you're doing. Max size is 3 contracts. So what is your full standard size? Is it 2 or is it 1? Right? You have to make that determination, right? Are you going to take the 3 micros and then risk it for the biscuit? That's totally up to you. I cannot choose that for you as a trader. Middle tier is going to be the B setup, standard conviction, reduced sized. So if your A setup was going to be the 3 micro max, what are we going to do? We're going to go down to at least 2 micro, or maybe even 1 micro, depending on if the orb range is too big. Then we have to size down to 1 micro, right? And then the bottom tier, the C setup or lower. I want to just group all of those
Yeah.
together, C, D, and F, right? C, D, and F, they're just the bottom tier, low conviction, micro size or walk away. Either 1 micro, bigger stop loss and a bigger TP, or you just take the 1-to-1 and then just walk away. Okay, because we know that if there's a B setup or an A setup, we're going to be able to make all that money back anyways. Because what did I just say? A setup, if we were to go in 3 micros, right, at the max size, and then on bottom tier, let's say on a C setup, we lose the trade. The next day, if we were to get an A setup with 3 micros, are we going to make that plus 2 micros more? Yeah, we are. So we're going to win. So that's where our dynamic money management comes into play. So even though some days may look like lower P&Ls, but when we do have actual A setups or even B setups, we're going to have higher P&Ls on dollar amount wise. So not every day is going to be a big winning day, but if you survive the day without a red day, you've already defeated 99% of the prop firm traders. That's going to blow their accounts. But I think our biggest thing, especially psychology-wise, is when people look at social media, people are taking $2 million payouts from Apex, like $50,000, do whatever. But what they don't explain is how long they have actually compounded these accounts for a very, very, very long time, and then now they're gaining the fame off of it. It could have taken them 5 years. Nobody would have known that.
I also see some people, I won't like call them out here because it's not really my place to call other people out, right? But I do think that there is a big difference between somebody who's online live streaming to basically shill the prop code. And I see this a lot, Jimmy, where they're trying to get record payouts. They're making so much money from their affiliates that they don't really care if they blow the accounts, not whatever. But because they can go hard and fast and kind of have unlimited money, they do reach these payouts. It is legitimate. It's not like they're lying, but they don't tell you that they spent, whatever, 3 million to make one off of like trying and then they made off the affiliates 7 million. You know what I'm saying? So it's worth it to them to it's like a cost of doing business, so to speak. So it's you got to be careful. Yeah. Hard and fast is not the way.
Yeah. And just don't let the shiny objects on social media determine your decision on what your sizing is going to be, right? Just because this person made $10,000 today doesn't mean you have to make $10,000, right? You can make $100 and just walk away because you survived that day and you made a green day.
Right.
Just walk away because eventually the payouts are going to come, especially on the $50,000 accounts. They come way quicker than you think. You're just going to trade it, and one day you're going to wake up like, oh, I'm above 53,000. I can take a payout. And stop logging into your prop firm accounts. Like that's my number one advice. Like of course knowing your balance is great, but which in Tradeovate, it shows what your account balance is and everything. But if you go into the actual prop firm accounts, then it shows you what the consistency rule is. You have to make this much, you have to do that, you have to do that. Then your mindset goes all crazy, all scrambled, like, oh, I got to do this tomorrow. I got to do
Yeah.
this tomorrow.
Yeah.
Why can't you just wake up and just trade it mechanically? Exactly
Yeah.
what we've been doing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I found myself doing that. I'll be honest with you. Like even after I passed and took a payout, I was like, all right, so now what does it say I have to do? I have to do 5 days at this or whatever. So yeah, be careful. I do want to go over these system rules real quick. Bigger size magnifies greed. Damn. Anxiety, fear. Clean and repeatable beats big and unstable. Low quality days demand low quality size, just like today. Nice job. On choppy sessions, no news Mondays, or weak follow through environments, just like today. The professional approach is base hits and discipline exits. I didn't even trade today, just FYI. I did not even take a trade today. That's very rare for me. Jimmy will tell you. I don't remember the last time I didn't take a trade, but I just didn't. I was like, this is junk. So I didn't even take it. So solid advice right here, guys. This is like pure gold, man, honestly. Jimmy, you want to lead us into the next thing if you're
Sure.
right.
So there's I like to have two. Well, it's okay. So like we have a strategy, right? We have a strategy that works. It's called Crazy Horse Strategy, and it's all based off of the orb, and which is great. So that's our strategy. But if you're trading a live account, that's the only strategy that you need. However, if you're trading props, you also have to have a strategy to beat the prop firms. Okay, and what based off of my history and what I have achieved so far, these are the two strategies that I like to explain to you, which is strategy number one is the $50,000 route. The method is just you're rinsing through $50,000 evaluations accounts efficiently, meaning even if you were to fail five, but you were able to pass five, then you're already at a win. Okay, because you're going through these accounts and you're setting yourself a budget for how much you're going to spend on these evaluation accounts. But there are going to be a lot more blown accounts than a $150,000 route. So there's going to be a tighter drawdown pressure, meaning that we only have $2,000 drawdown versus 4,500 or maybe even 6,000 for Tradeify straight to fundeds on $150,000 accounts. And then and there's just a high volume of evaluation. So meaning like you may take by 10, 20, 30 in a month, possibly, depending on what kind of budget you have. But on a $150,000 account, you may only buy five, right? And so the quantity is different. It's between 50,000 and 150,000. With the $50,000, the pros of it is that you do reach your payouts quicker. However, on the $150,000 accounts, it does take a little bit longer, but the payout amount is bigger. So for just on the Tradeify's payout rules, $50,000 accounts can take out 1,500 per account maximum. Okay, and then depending on how many accounts you have. So let's just say you have 5 accounts, which is their max allocation. 5 accounts, it becomes 7,500 payout versus $150,000 account, which may take 2 to 3 months to actually reach the payout, but it's 15,000. But as I explained at the previous slide, that on a $50,000 account, you can get there in 2 weeks, 10 trading days. So if you're calculating by month, I'm making $15,000 in 1 month versus trading a $150,000 account in 2 to 3 months, because the profit target is $9,000 per account, right? So that's why it just takes a little bit longer, and you will have to size a little bit bigger on the $150,000 accounts. So it's a matter of what makes you feel comfortable. Are you okay with spending more your money, your hard-earned money into evaluations accounts and actually put in the investment, or do you want to go the longevity route where you're getting an account and you want to keep that funded account for 6 months, 1 year, or however long it takes you, right? How much do you want? How much do you want it, right? That's really what it comes down to. So these are the two strategies that I've tested, and it works.
Cool.
Awesome, dude. Okay, so questions in chat. Go ahead. I know that this is a lot of information. I just want to take a beat. And this is a big slide here because it's like the decision point for people. Do I go with a 50K or a 150K? I'll leave this up on the screen just for a moment. You guys can read it. And, if you have any questions, type it in chat. Give it like 30 seconds because I know we have a delay. But when I was going through and trying to figure out what I was going to do, I did the 150Ks with Tradeify. This was last year at some point. I think I gave it like 3 or 4 shots at least. Didn't pass. I passed the eval, dude. I think I passed all of the evals. It was getting the damn payout, and I just didn't have the patience. I was like, I'm not making money with this. I have 100,000 in cash. I can go make money. I was like, just over it. I thought it was kind of BS, to be honest with you. And then the 50Ks, just this last go around, I just made it a point to size light. That was my point. I said it when I started it, dude. You were there. I was like, I'm gonna treat this right. We'll see what happens.
Right.
And there it is. Okay,
So for you, Mike, the speed route was more, it fit your personality a little bit better.
Thank you, Troy. Yeah, exactly what I was.
So it's really just a personality thing. Pick one and go for it.
I just wanted to get a payout, Jimmy. That how can I be preaching about trading if I don't have a pay? You know what I mean? I kind of felt like, dude, you're not a real coach. Like, what's going? But it's just I haven't really traded prop. It's not my jam. I'm not even in getting used to futures is so much different than CFDs.
Right.
But yeah, because it's yeah. But we have a question. We have a couple things in here. Let's see. Donald asks, so dollar risk, not contract risk. Little confused when Jimmy said 3 micros max for the 50K accounts. Okay, so I'll bring that back up here.
Okay.
So what is, Donald, what is exact, like be real specific with the question so we get him, but you said you're a little confused when he says 3 micros max for the 50K account. What exactly are you confused about? Because that was a setup. That's the highest he says that you should risk, right? Per
maximum
on a 50K account. So does that make sense? So that would be like your A setup. Don't go beyond 3, because if you lose it, depending on obviously the drawdown, Jimmy, right? The draw, like what you're going to lose on the account. Is there basically, instead of thinking of it in contracts, Jimmy, is there a number that would that be better instead of saying, hey, don't go past 3 micros? What if it, because you see what I'm saying? You could, what if your range for your stop loss is really deep? You know what I mean? And that's just where the stop loss needs to be. So is it a percentage thing, or is it?
It really depends on the market volatility. Like, so for example, I use the long tool, let's say long and short tool on TradingView. And if you double click it into the settings, let's just show them an example. If you do a long tool there, and if you double click it, you can put your account size and you could put your risk. Okay.
So
and
say
then
you have a 50K.
Let's say you have 50K, we're risking 250, let's say $200.
Okay.
$200. Okay. And then if we press OK, now it'll tell us the actual quantity there, 1.67. 1.667, right? So if we go down now, it's only 0.7. So we should only be trading 1 micro depending on where your stop loss goes. But sometimes when the market is not as volatile, it's gonna show a 2 contract or even 3 contracts. It's just that we are in a very volatile market right now, which is 139 points to the upside. There are 40 points, like 100 points and 200 points literally going back and forth, which is why 1 micro only makes sense right now. And when there's those days where we have a 40 point or 50 point orb range, and we're targeting the 1-to-1s based off of that, then we can possibly go 3 micros. That's what it kind of comes down to as dollar risk wise.
I think it's basically you look at the dollars, Donald, instead of like he's just saying 3 micros is kind of a lot. Like you're probably not going to be able to go past 3 just in general, especially with New York. This is fantastic. Thank you guys for sharing. Dude, that's awesome. Thank you for checking it out. This is all just for you guys, just value for you guys. We're not putting this in a course, we're getting it out there. So would it be better just to focus on, Mateo says, would it be better to focus on one account at first, get a payout before copy trading multiple accounts? That's a good question.
Yeah, so I have different opinions on that. So it kind of depends on where you are in your journey of your trading, right? If you are brand new and you're not profitable, you're not confident enough to continue getting to the payout, then I would say start with 1. don't over risk and try to go for the actual shiny objects, because only 0.75% of all initial challenge buyers successfully
Yeah.
reach their first payout. So statistically wise, I should have done the same thing when I first started, but I was always maxing out 20 accounts of Apex, blow it, blow it, blow it, especially when I first started prop firm. So yes, that is the correct way to do it, but it just all depends on where you are on your journey. Like for me, if you were to tell me, hey, to go only trade one account, I would rather just trade a live account if I'm gonna do that. Prop firms only make sense because I can scale multiple accounts. But that's also because I treat this as a business, and I can also invest the money into the prop firms because I know I will get there to the payouts.
Nice.
That makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Last question we're gonna take for now, but I love the newbie mindset. Are you guys with a broker like Ninja Trader that copies trades, or using third party? TradingView doesn't have a copy trading capabilities, so you have to use a third party. That's a good question. What are you using, Jimmy?
I am currently using Trade Syncer. It is spelled trade and then Syncer. Trade Syncer. The reason why I like this platform is because there's also a journal that's included with the copy trade um, software. So you're actually getting two in the
That's cool.
price of one. So instead
Mm-hmm.
of me having a TradeZella journal and having a copy trader subscription, everything's just in one. Right. So that's
That's
why I
cool.
like the platform. But there are cons to it. So please just be aware that there's still considered in beta testing right now for TradeSyncer because it's fairly new. But another one that I have heard good things about is Tradecopia, Copia. And Tradecopia is cheaper than TradeSyncer. And they're kind of competitors against each other. It's just that I paid for an annual because they had an annual sale at TradeSyncer, so I can't even go test out Tradecopia right now. So maybe
Yeah.
next year I may, but it's because it has unlimited connections in Tradecopia, but TradeSyncer, I'm paying the $100 a month, and I could only connect 4 different prop firms. So like let's say Top Step, Lucid, whatever it is, right? But with Tradecopia, I could do unlimited amounts. So once I get to multiple prop firms and I have 100 accounts, yeah, maybe I have to go to Tradecopia just to save some subscription money.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Oh, go ahead, Troy. Yeah.
some people are asking, how can I, get in contact with Jimmy, or where can I learn more?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and some people are asking some other questions that are very specific. Jimmy is a coach inside of our community, right? So Mike, me, Jimmy, we're all inside this trading group. And if you want to ask Jimmy some questions specifically, ask it in there, right? Make a post. Jimmy's in there, just tag him and he can, get with you. You wouldn't mind, right, Jimmy?
Oh, not at all. Not at all.
All right, cool. So that would be the best way to do it.
Yeah. This is
Yes.
this is our free community. You can start by joining this and join us in here. Okay. We're active. I read every comment. I reply to everybody. So does Coach Troy. We're always posting, as much value as we can. We have a classroom with a roadmap. You go through all the videos in the roadmap showing you all the statistical stuff that we have with this strategy, even the back testing that we have. Really, you could steal the checklist for the strategy, whatever you want to do. But then
Nope, nobody's
ultimately,
interested in
here's
the free crap, Mike. Nobody wants the free
okay.
stuff.
Well, then
Show me
just
the
go
juice.
right to the
Show me the
paid
juice.
group.
Yes.
Go right to the paid
I'm
group.
serious about this
Yeah,
prop journey. I'm serious about getting rid of my 9 to 5 and
and there's a
trading
link to the
like
paid.
Jimmy.
There's the link to the paid right there. If you're serious about it, there's a link. You can just skip everything. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you,
And
Mike.
yeah,
Appreciate
you're
it.
welcome, Troy. Even though you're already,
I'm a
that
line
wasn't
skipper, man. I
that
don't want
wasn't
any of that free crap. Just take me to the juice.
all right. Okay. Well, we're gonna go back to the slides. We're not done yet, guys.
Sure.
We still have a couple to go, and this is going to be some of the best slides of the entire presentation. So, again, shout out to Coach Jimmy for putting this together, and let's keep it moving here. So let's go.
Okay, so we're kind of gonna summarize again once more. If we're gonna go to the $50,000 route, we have 5 accounts at $1,500 payouts. We're looking at 7,500, and the estimated time is between 2 and 3 weeks. Okay. And if you go the $150,000 account, you can get a maximum payout of $3,000, which becomes $15,000. However, the average time for to get to $150,000, if you size properly, again, illiterating, if you were to size properly, it would take you 2 to 3 months,
Hmm.
depending on market conditions. So it's are you gonna do you want to go there with speed, or do you want to take it slowly and really prove to yourself that you're a good trader and you can actually hit that within the longer period of time? But most of the time, what happens is if people who go to the $150,000 route is that they end up thinking that they need to make more money, and so they start oversizing. And that's why I always feel that the $50,000 account might be the best thing to help you with sizing and being comfortable with making $100 instead of trying to going for this $9,000 unrealistic target of a $150,000 account. Then you're
Hmm.
gonna want to make $1,000 a day, or like you're gonna have these profit goals of $500,000 a day, which is gonna kill your psychology, and then you're gonna end up with a blown account. However, if you're only trading bits, if you're just starting out, if you're just starting out on the $150,000 account, and if you only have one account, it's actually a perfect practice of sizing low for low cost. It'd be the cheapest university of trading that you have gone to, instead of blowing $50,000 of your own life capital or 150,000 of your own life capital.
And there's more drawdown on a
There,
150, right? So
yes,
people might see it as safer, but then I keep going back to this is they're not treating it like a business. They're treating it like the last piece of pie at Thanksgiving dinner, and they're like savoring it, and like their whole livelihood is stuck to this one account.
right.
Like if they blow it, the world is over, and you know what I mean? So you got to get out of that mindset, I think.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, and
you
like
have.
my, I have another angle, but my angle is more for the people who, let's say you have $1,000. I mean, I would say put it in a CFD account. This is just me, right? I'm not saying you should do this, but what I did, put it in a CFD account and just make money in a cash account to pay for the prop. Now, could you lose that? Yeah, if you're stupid and you're not disciplined, you're going to lose it. You're going to lose a prop anyways if you're not disciplined. But you have a little bit more chance because of no rules, especially if you follow like our system. I'm very confident. If you follow our system and you say like, if you stay disciplined with sizing on your cash account, $1,000, there's no reason why you don't make a couple, like probably $100 or plus a month. Like I'm just gonna throw a low number out because and with $100 you can activate a prop account, can't you? I mean that's around there,
Mhm.
and that's just 1,000. You bump that up to 3,000. Now you're making $300 to $500 a month.
Right.
And I'm sticking with like, I mean yeah that I don't know if I'm being overzealous there, but I know people who have done it and I'm doing it. I'm literally trading my cash account, making money, and activating prop accounts. So, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's another way to do it.
Yes, so there's multiple routes in doing it. It's just everybody's financial journey is a little bit different. So some people can't really afford even the $1,000 in a CFD account, and so we're just giving everybody an option depending on, because I don't know what scenario they're in, right? So
Yeah.
we're just giving every different option and scenarios that they can go through.
Yeah. The takeaway is that the smaller account strategy may get you paid faster. The larger strategy yields a bigger return. And, just the way I look at it, Jimmy, I mean, the smaller account, you're going to have to be more disciplined
Yes.
because you're not going to have as much drawdown. So it's like, a part of you is going to go, well, I don't know if I can be that disciplined. Let me get a little bit more drawdown and go with, something where it's going to pay me out a little bit more, but I'm going to have to spend 2 or 3 months and just prove this to myself. So that could be a cool challenge. But for me personally, if I times 7,500 by 3 and I look at the difference of what I'm getting paid here, it's not even
Mhm.
a question which one is, like, in my opinion, better. I
Right.
think
Yeah.
the 50Ks are better because, it's just look at the time,
Right.
because time is money.
Right.
And so for any business. So yeah, I do look at that as being like 50Ks or better, but better is subjective to your personal development. Some
Correct.
people need that time to spend with themselves and get discipline and have a little bit more drawdown so you're not sweating bullets every single trade you take. So I think that that's good. And I've heard of these straight to funded accounts. We do get Jay is asking, what's your thoughts on the straight to funded as we go to this next slide, if you want to answer that first.
Sure. So I'm completely okay with straight to funded accounts. I have nothing against them. The only thing is that they're very pricey. Because I know that I could pass it very quickly, and so now I just don't really purchase any straight to funded accounts. However, if you have not taken a payout, I highly do not recommend going to a straight to funded account because
There you
there's a
go.
high chance you're going to blow it.
So if you haven't taken a payout, don't do it.
Yes, do not do it. And then a lot of other traders like on social media, they're probably gonna say, hey, go with the straight to funded accounts, and they're gonna they talk about the consistency rule, how it sucks, right? However, if you're sized correctly, the consistency rule is not even gonna matter at all. Yeah. So that's why,
sizing. Let's go,
yeah,
baby. Let's go.
sizing again, right?
Let's go. Smash the like button for sizing. Sizing.
Sizing,
The
and
secret weapon.
sizing and not logging into your tradeify.com account.
Every
Just
5 seconds.
Yeah,
Not-
don't look at the consistency.
Where am I at? Where's the
Not
consistency?
trading 2 and 3 sessions or trading out of a session time.
Yeah,
There's a formula for success, y'all, and we're literally sharing it with you right here. Like
Yeah.
we're not charging you $3,000 to learn it. Like
Yeah.
it's free.
Yeah.
literally
for
just
sure,
one
man.
session, one ticker,
Yes.
one strategy. It's so simple.
Yeah.
It's actually really funny that we talk about this because the short that I just released today is actually all about the one session, one size, or one strategy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm gonna check that out.
It's so funny too, man, because we get people that join our community and immediately want to start talking about gold or trading oil or French fries, whatever.
Mhm.
And it's like, do you not understand? Like, we never talk about trading anything else except
Mhm.
one thing.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, it's always like gold
Don't-
or something. Yeah. I
yeah,
know what you mean.
don't try to reinvent the wheel day one when you join.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just follow the system that we have,
Yeah,
please.
that's good.
So
Yeah.
anyway, all right, let's go. Keep going.
That's
mean,
good advice.
it-
All right, pre-flight checklist, Jimmy. Walk
Mhm.
us through this because everyone should take a screenshot of this and put it up on your computer, man.
Yes, please
Tattoo
do.
it. I want to see a tattoo on somebody's belly.
Oh, maybe I will do it.
Yeah, that'd be sick. Your whole back is covered in that. That'd be
Yeah,
sweet.
but then I
That'd
wouldn't
be
be
cool.
able to look at it myself.
I know. That's true. We'll do it on your chest, but make it where it's like reverse, so it looks right.
I actually do have a kind of an empty arm right here. Maybe I could
Yeah,
place
that'd
it
be
over.
cool.
Dude, that would be actually pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the pre-flight checklist. So if you were to drive an airplane or any type of fighter pilot or whatever, you're always going to be going through all those checks, making sure that the plane's not going to crash, right? And that's exactly what we're doing. I always say, depending on where your time zone is. So for me, I'm in Southern California, so the market opens at 6:30 a.m. So for me, I gave myself 30 minutes at least to wake up and do all the pre-market analysis, go use the restroom, do whatever I need to do, right? However, if I was in New York or like or Eastern Standard Time, I would always give myself 1 hour before market opens to actually wake up, get in the right mindset, to remind yourself, hey, low sizing, right? If the market doesn't present itself, we don't have to take a trade. Just keep reminding yourself psychological, because if you were to just wake up exactly at 1 minute before market open, you're not prepared. That means
Been there.
yeah,
Done that
you're
recently.
yeah, you're launching an airplane without going through the actual, like, the flicker of the switches. I never drove in an airplane, so I don't know, but you're not going through all of that, so you're gonna have a system failure. There's a high chance of it, I should say. I'm not saying it's every single time, but there's gonna be a high chance that you're gonna fail. At least 30 minutes to an hour before market opens. Wake up, do whatever you need to do, go wash your face, and then you're gonna go through this checklist, and which I'm gonna go through right now. So number one is gonna be, what kind of day is it? Is it an A setup? B setup, C setup. You're going to determine that, but we also do have an R indicator that kind of helps us out and gives us direction. If you are in the live group, Coach Mike always goes over what kind of setup we're looking at as well. So that's always good confluence there. Um, and so on the setup wise, like for me on Mondays, automatic C. Like there's just no doubt about it, automatic C for me
But I
because
disagree, but that's okay.
mhm,
That's okay. I want
yeah,
people to know. Like, I don't agree with that, but
mhm,
that's okay.
yeah,
Coach Jimmy's profitable. I'm
mhm,
profitable. To each their own. I think there's could be some good things on Mondays. He doesn't like them.
mhm,
Okay.
yeah.
Who cares? This Monday sucked. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, so for me, it's just that was just because of my history, right? Like based on my journal and based on my data, I have a very low win rate on Mondays. And I don't know why. I think it's probably has to do with coming from the weekend. Maybe, I don't know, I went out to hang out with friends a little bit too much. I don't know. But generally on Mondays, I just not very good on Mondays. So that's why I always put myself as a C setup, lowest sizing possible, and then we just go for our 1-to-1, or sometimes I even cut the position quickly and just call it a day. Number two is what session am I trading? I only trade the New York session. So it's very simple, right? Just New York session. But if you're trading Asia or London, that could also work. Number three is what is my exact maximum risk for today? We won't really know this until the actual orb forms at 9:45 Eastern time. And so if we're already kind of prepared for that, then we'll be able to execute properly. And then what position size allows me to stay completely calm? Very, very important one here. It's that what size makes me feel very comfortable, right? If your P&L was moving up, $50 at a time going back and forth, is that going to make you feel uncomfortable? Is that going to make you feel comfortable? So you have to calculate that before executing any type of trade. Number five is going to be if I lose this trade, will I still be mentally composed? Okay. If you lose $400 on your account, and if you have 10 accounts, that's $4,000. Okay. Is that $4,000 P&L, is that going to ruin the rest of your day? Then you're already sized incorrectly. Okay, so depending on the day, obviously the A, B, or C setup is going to consider what kind of sizing you're going through, but what sizing is also going to keep you mentally composed. Did you have a rough night last night and you're a little tired today? Then size down, even if it's an A setup, right? And then and then we go to number six, and then is am I trading to execute a plan, or am I trading because I feel pressure? This one is fairly simple, the last one, because we have a mechanical model. We just do the same time, same strategy, same ticker, just one everything, right? And so when we if you as long as you can do that, then you're executing properly. So that's just all everything that we just need to go through.
Yeah, solid. Okay. And as far as mechanical, what he means by that is, when we talk about are we trading to execute a plan or trading because I feel pressure, a lot of that comes from that revenge trading mindset. When you're oversized, you're going to feel pressure to come back from it. You don't need to. Just stick to the strategy. Like here's today. I mean, I'm just going to tell you right now, I already said it in the live room this morning. This is why, like, have a group of people that you trade with, love it or whatever, you know what I mean? Just like I'm looking here, Donald Keys says L2 printed. So we'll go back. I'll just show real quick what we mean by mechanical for anybody who doesn't know. We're just going to go back in time, go to the L2, because I don't know if it printed or not, but he said it did. So let's just see. Yeah, so there's your TP up here. So you lose your first trade. See? You lose the first trade by a couple ticks, whatever. Maybe it's break even. You get in the second trade. Here it is and play it out. Boom, you hit TP. And L3, which is basically long, stands for long. You hit the outer band. This is another equilibrium level. Here's the TP right here, right? And price hit TP as well, or close to it, Donald. I don't know if that counts just yet, but that's very close, man. I think for most people, they're probably on a day like today, they're getting out. If you're that close to TP, you're trailing. You're trailing on a low time frame probably. But either way, I would consider that a win for sure. So yeah, that's more that mechanical approach. Are you trading mechanically, or are you trading because you're scared? You feel pressure. So, coming into this last slide, guys, and shout out to Coach Jimmy once again for putting this together and just wanting to get on here and talk about his journey. I think there's so much value in takeaways in this entire thing. For anybody who stayed the entire time, shout out to you. You're actually serious about learning trading. And our plan is to try to get you there as fast as possible. The traders who last are not always the smartest. That's me, straight up. I am definitely not the smartest trader. They're the ones who stay controlled. My biggest kryptonite and arch nemesis in trading is patience. I've told that to my students. That's why I can't be a scalper, dude, because I'll be looking for trades all day. I needed a system like this that kept me out of that mindset. And that's why Crazy Horse works for me. It works with my lifestyle. A lot of days I'm done in the first 30 minutes of trading and I'm done for the day. I don't have to wait for a liquidity grab and all this crap. I don't have to do any of that. I just stick to the mechanical edge. Execution first, money second. Mindset and sizing are permanently linked. Sick. If your mindset is weak, your sizing will expose it. If your sizing is too aggressive, your mindset will break. Guys, that is the gold right there. That is the sauce. Okay, so take a screenshot of that, man, because that right there, those are some of the best quotes that I've seen in trading, because not a lot of people talk about this stuff.
You got to make that as a frame now. We got to make that as a photography
I think
frame.
I will.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to do something with that. Yeah. That's where it's at, man. Everyone wants to know what the secret is to becoming profitable and all this stuff. It's like, dude, mindset and sizing.
Mhm.
Mindset
Really all
and
it is.
sizing first.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not sexy. It's not sexy to listen to and hear.
No.
It's not sexy to listen to an hour and a half or 2 hour long, seminar based on mindset and sizing.
Yeah.
Right.
Can't we talk about like the Lamborghinis you
The
bought and
strategy. What's the
big
strategy,
house?
bro? I need the entry
Yeah.
model.
Yeah, or some magic indicator that works, every single time. So
Yeah.
this is good, man. This is really the real gold. It's the real deal, and it's not fake. And this is something I wish that I could have seen when I first started trading. Honestly, I'm sure you too, Jimmy, right?
Same.
If you could go back and like watch just this right here when you first started, like how much further advanced would you be by now?
I think it would have took me like maybe half fraction of the time that it would have took me to become profitable and to make myself retire from the business and trade full time.
Yeah,
However, I think everything happens for a reason, because I was
yeah,
able
I
to
agree.
find our group and I was able to find you guys, right?
Yes.
And that alone is such a big value for me. So thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you to both of you guys and the group.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you, man, for just
We're
being
going
who
to take,
you are.
any last questions before we hop off here? I feel like we covered a lot, but we covered this. If you really paid attention, a lot of it's like it was repeating, and for a good reason, because it's like you really need to break those habits of everything else, like the Lambo that I'm seeing in the comments right now. You want that Lambo first, exactly. To get out of that mindset's tough, man. And so I think this is a much needed conversation for a lot of people. But if anyone has any last minute questions, or if we have a question that we missed, if Troy, I don't know if you've been looking, but if anybody has anything, we'll wait like 30 seconds and then we're going to call it. I think this is a great overview. You guys, it'll be on my YouTube channel. I'll proudly host this in the live. I might even post it. I'll post some shorts of it as well. But
Yeah, if you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do us a favor and smash that like button. That'll definitely help out the algorithm
appreciate
and get
you
this
guys.
in front of more people who are interested in prop trading.
Yeah, dude, they need to see this for real. The goal is freedom. Absolutely. We're lucky to have all of you guys. Thanks. Awesome. Still want that Lambo. Scaling in 3 times seems like a lot of risk. So this is more, I guess it's kind of like it's a question. So let's talk about scaling in 3 times for just a moment. Jimmy, I'll pull up the chart here so we have something to look at.
Sure. So days like today, so we get the L1 signal, right? So we would probably take the position there, right? And then let's say if the market conditions were better, right? So if we get a long signal two there because we technically didn't hit full TP yet. So that's where we technically ladder order on the second trade there, right? But our second one, we were able to take it off, right? And it hits TP. Um, for me personally, on any type of prop account trading, I don't take the third signal. It's so if I set up the first trade, and then let's say I ladder order to the second, my stop loss goes below the second order. Not there, but all the way down to the second ladder order stop loss, and then that's my end. If it hits there, I'm done. And then what I'm waiting for next is I'm waiting for a flip for my third trade. That's all we do, because if we were to ladder order two times on top of our initial position, now that becomes way too much. 1 micro, 1 micro, 1 micro, that's 3 micros max, right? But if you want 2 micros, 2 micro, 2 micro, 2 micro, you're in 6 micros. It's just too much. It's just too much.
Yep.
Just showing what a flip looks like. Sorry. Pretending like this is a candle. It's flipping the other side of the 15-minute range. That flips our daily bias to the downside. That'll produce a sell signal as well. And that is an entry model based on the crazy horse strategy. There are 3 entry triggers or entry models based on the strategy. You do not have to ladder. In fact, in this position here, I'll just kind of explain real quick. Jimmy's saying that this is how he would set this up, but this is not a day where Jimmy would set this up. And the reason why is because if you take a look at the chart, you can clearly see we are in a downtrend. There has been these are all internal structural pivots that mean nothing. This dot up here in this horizontal line is what I put in the live room this morning, just stating that this is structure up here. And learning these fundamentals is so key, guys. It's on top of everything else that we've said today. I'm going to tell you that if you don't know your fundamentals, you will not understand market direction. So, nothing has really happened. All this is internal structure. I can prove that by going to a higher time frame. Here's the 15-minute. And as you can see now, the dots have changed since this morning's live session. So I'll update this, but this is our lowest swing point in our visible range. Your question mark every time you see one of these is what created that swing point right here. So what created it? You're going to move up until you see an obvious swing point. Now, this also has the 3 candle series. So you see 3 candles up. That's, some people live by the 3 candle rule. I live more by, yes, I like to see 3 candles, but it's obvious. And so that is an obvious swing point. So we are inside of that high and low and waiting for a candle body to close outside of the range to continue what? Well, to continue a downtrend. And you can prove that it's a downtrend because you can go to a 1 hour. And here's the 1 hour dot plot up here. You've got your low. What created it? All the way to the high. Here it is. We swing failed yesterday and everything else is inside structure. Everything I just said real quick right there, if you're new, you're probably like, what the hell is this guy talking about? But those are the fundamentals that you have to learn if you're going to understand. At least understand. I say understand. In this game, I'm going to tell you, there's very little understanding, okay? Price goes up, price goes down. Market news hits, all of a sudden your shit is just, blown. It's like there's little understanding. But one thing I do know is that the news and market sentiment sometimes can manipulate price. But overall, price and structure and momentum will prevail. Okay, that is the edge that we have on the market. And if you keep your ear close to the ground enough with news, maybe you can get a little bit of an additional edge based on like new news that's coming out and it fits with your setup. And all of a sudden you're breaking out because Trump did this and Iran war and oil spiking, whatever it might be. Yeah, you can get maybe a little bit of an additional edge, but try to keep it mechanical and try to keep it like Coach Jimmy is saying and focus on your sizing first. We say it every single day. So,
Hey, and one real quick, Mike, can you show in the classroom of our community where the training is in step 2?
Oh yeah, sure. Absolutely. Yeah, let me do that. So this is the training here in our,
Let's go to the classroom.
Paid community. So this is the classroom. This is step 2.
So you can see right down there, we teach you the fundamentals first up at the top. And then you can go in and learn more about Coach Jimmy's model right?
Yes, the orb PO3. This is where he's put the orb and the PO3, and he's got a 30,000 overfoot video. We're gonna put this in there, and then if there's anything else that Coach Jimmy comes out with, you're gonna get access to that as well. And that's all with the bit. Look, there's two tiers, man. We make it really simple, just so everyone knows we're not high. You know, there's no smoke and mirrors, man. It's $47 a month, and you get the indicator and all the training, everything. Now, if you want to trade live with me daily, there is an upgrade option. It basically adds $100 to it. So it's 147 total, which actually, you know, I don't want to say anything too early, but the price is going up on that. But anyways, look, we kill it. It's not about, we're not trying to gouge anyone with a $3,000 course one time, no refund. If you don't like it, just DM us. We'll give you a refund, no problem. But the reality is a lot of people just don't get access to the simplicity that we're offering, and access also to a group that's real. Like, shout out to the Midas Touch, because everyone in here is a real trader with real life and problems and families. Most of them are, you know, family oriented people. And, you know, you're getting the good, the bad, you're getting the people that need help. You're also just getting fun. And you don't get this with Discord. Discord, you just get bombarded. Well, you know, it's different. School is set up to learn first and community first, learn second, but I would say they're pretty tied. And the way that you do that in here is by leaning on this community. So if I just scroll down here, I mean, you see just, you know, first two, like this guy, you know, here's someone, William, I think he's fairly new. And it's like, howdy, I've been trading with Mike in the group for 2 weeks now, and I figured out now's a good time to discuss the success and failures that I've experienced over these 2 weeks, right? So just awesome people telling real stories in here, real experiences. And then people like Jimmy, myself, the other profitable traders, Coach Stewart, Coach Matt, the list goes on, man, of people that are consistent, they're profitable, they have a ton of experience, and they're commenting on these comments that people are posting and giving them solid feedback in you know, what we call as our developing the feedback loop, right? That's what you need. That's what a lot of traders miss, is like, what is your feedback loop? Well, if you're just trading by yourself, you don't have one. If you're trying to look up YouTube videos all day, you don't have one. So really developing that feedback loop is like it's just as critical as everything we went over today.
That's right.
And I'm a perfect example of it too.
Exactly.
I didn't say that. You know what I mean? That's somebody consistently profitable who's retiring to day trade full time saying that. So obviously there's something here. I mean, you know, whether I'm like biased to the group or whatever, you can think about me. But there's something here, obviously. But anyways, I had a great time. I hope you guys had a great time. I hope you learned something. You guys want to say anything else before we chow out?
Well, I just wanted to mention that on my profile, you can actually see when I actually joined the group, so that there's no fluff or anything, but I joined June 17th of 2025. Not even 1 year later, I'm transferring myself as a full-time trader and moving to Southeast Asia.
Heck yeah, man.
And we do actually have one other coach, Coach Matt, who actually just moved to Vietnam.
That's
right. I know.
Yeah,
that's right. That's true.
So that's two.
That's two.
Not just one.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Is crazy.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I didn't realize. Yeah, shout out to Coach Matt. Shout out to Coach
Matt.
Stewart. Been trading with us 2 years. Just had a baby. You know, I asked him just recently, hey, what are you making a month? Anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000 a month he's making consistently for his family, dude. And he's working still. He just acquired a company. Like, the guy's a businessman, you know, crushing it, man. Just absolutely crushing it. So anyway, shout out to our coaches. Shout out to Midas Touch. Thank you guys for joining us. We will see you guys soon, and over and out. Peace, love.
See you guys. It's fun.
That's great.
All right, we're out.
Okay.
Yeah, that went